Section 9-3 talks about how to find the area of circles. As you remember from previous chapters, a circle has a center point, an infinite number of radius lengths. So here's a radius, that could be a radius, etc., and a diameter. There are also an infinite number of diameter lengths. Okay? We already talked before about how to find the circumference of a circle. The circumference of a circle is the total distance around that circle. So if you're running around this circle, it'd be how far you had to travel in order to, if you started here, to get all the way back to where you started. The formula for the circumference of a circle is equal to either 2 pi r or pi times diameter. So essentially, you will multiply 2 times 3.14 times whatever the radius length is, or 3.14 times whatever the diameter is. The reason why you can use either one is because 2 times the radius is the same as the diameter. So let's suppose we had this circle and the radius length was 3 inches. If we wanted to find the circumference, we'd plug it into the formula. Circumference is equal to, since I'm given the radius, I'm just going to use 2 pi r. 2 pi r. So let's plug in the number 3 for the radius and 3.14 for pi. Just to make it easier on myself, I'm going to multiply 2 times 3 first. So 2 times 3 is 6. Again, that would have been the diameter. So 6 times 3.14 will give us a circumference. So 3.14 times 6. Do the decimal twice. The circumference should equal 18 84 inches. It's in inches because our original problem was in inches, and also we're talking about a distance rather than area. So distance is always just the units with no squared or cube sign added onto it. Now, if we wanted to find the area of the same circle, okay, notice I've given you the diameter, we're going to use a different formula. Area is equal to pi r squared. When you see this squared sign, you know that we're working with area. So in order to differentiate between area and circumference, just look for the squared sign because you always associate the squared sign with area. Okay? So if we wanted to find the area of this shape, then we need to know the radius. Well, if the diameter is 6 inches, then half of that is the radius. So the radius is 3 inches. So now we just plug our values in. Area is equal to pi, we're going to use 3.14 times the radius squared, so that's 3 squared. The order of operations says that I do this first, and then I multiply 9 by 3.14. Since we're allowed to use your calculators, you can just use this and do it all in one step. So let me show you how to do that. Turn it on. So we're multiplying 3.14 times 3 squared. So I just plug in 3.14 and then multiply that by 3 squared. This button right here has an x squared. It's going to square your value. Okay, so now I press enter and I get my value. If I wasn't sure that I made the correct answer, did the correct thing, then I could go back into it and say, all right, 3.14 times 3 squared. Okay, and you can replace any value that you wanted. Oh, made a mistake, so I'm going to go back and click that squared sign. And then I'll get my answer. So my answer is 28 2600. So So the area is equal to 28 and 26 hundredths inches squared. Notice that your units are inches squared, not just inches. You're talking about the total area of that shape. So whereas circumference was discussing the distance around, area is all of the space covered in the shape, in this case, in the circle. Make sure that you're lining up your equal signs each time and that you're starting with the formula. I will be looking for you starting with the formula. Okay, it's important for you in the future to know how to do this.